Pinan 2 is the second in a series of 5 peaceful mind katas created in Okinawa by a Tosu Anko in the late 1800s. Around the turn of the century, these forms were introduced to the Okinawan school system. They later became the core kata of several karate systems. In Shotokan karate, this form is called Heian Nidan. Pinan 2 could be considered the water form, for the way it teaches you to flow from one technique to the other, creating fluid but powerful combinations. The moves must be committed to memory so completely that the kata becomes a single continuous technique performed perfectly from start to finish. Begin the kata with a clean 5-step salute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look to your left as you chamber your hands to your right hip. Then raise your arms, right fist to temple. Cross your arms, then shift into side stance with a left back fist strike. Look to the right and assume a right cat stance, bringing your hands to your left hip. Raise your arms, left fist to temple. Cross your arms and shift into side stance as you perform a right back fist strike. Look to your right, then hop into right kicking stance. Perform a simultaneous side kick and back fist strike. Land to the front in back stance with knife hand block. Advance 2 more times in back stance with knife hand block. End the series by sliding through into forward stance with a vertical spear hand thrust and a loud ki. The next 4 moves are a series of knife hand blocks that mirror the last 4 moves of Pinan 1. Shift into left forward stance with a reverse inner middle block. Perform a right front snap kick and left reverse punch. Then, repeat the combination on the other side. Finish with a reinforced block and ki. Spin 270 degrees into lower block, rising block, then turn 45 degrees with another rising block. Turn to your right and repeat the pattern on the opposite side. Look to your right, then to your left as you bring your left foot into natural stance. End the kata with a calm but confident Kung Nu bow. The bunkai, or applications, to Pinan 2 can be divided into 4 series. Series 1 begins with an attacker stepping in with a right punch. Double block, pulling the opponent into a high vertical back fist strike. Parry his second punch low, locking his elbows together. Maintain the lock with your elbow as you deliver a horizontal back fist strike, returning with an arm lock. As a second opponent steps in to punch, block, and attack his elbow, parry his second punch using your elbow, locking his arms together and countering with a vertical back fist strike. Chop and pull the opponent into a simultaneous punch and knee. Grab the opponent and twist as you kick to the back of his knee. Series 2 also begins with the most common method of attack, a right punch aimed at your head, which you block to the inside with a left knife hand block. Block his right counter with your right knife hand. Grab behind his head and spear hand to his throat. Box his ears and twist his head to throw him into the next opponent. Block the second opponent's right punch in the same way, to the inside with a left knife hand block. Attack his neck as you step through with the second knife hand block. Use the turn into the next knife hand block to throw the opponent. The final knife hand acts simply as a guarded position. In Series 3, your opponent again attacks with a right punch. Double block to catch his punch and use your inner middle block to hyperextend his elbow. Counter with a right kick to the body and left punch to the head. The opponent punches again with his left hand. Double block into a left inner middle block. Follow up with a left front snap kick and right punch to the head. A second opponent enters and attacks with a right roundhouse kick. Defend with a shovel block, throwing the opponent with the reinforced inner middle block. In Series 4, your first opponent attacks with a right front snap kick. As you block, strike his groin with a hammer fist. Block his counter punch with your first rising block. Catch his arm and attack his elbow with your second rising block. As you turn, throw him into your second attacker. Use your first rising block to catch his punch and attack his elbow. Then drive your second rising block into his neck. Sweep the opponent's foot to take him down to the ground.
Now, water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.